good morning everyone, my honorable lecturer and my dear friends. Okay, have you ever looked at someone and thought, why does their life look so easy? They seem calm, happy, like nothing really bothers them. Meanwhile, we are here, overthinking at night, feeling anxious, or just tired of everything. So, here's a question. Is happiness really about becoming like people that seem happy? Or is there another way to feel calm without changing ourselves, without changing who we are? Okay, everyone. So, today I want to talk about a simple idea that can help us live more peacefully. It's called Stoicism. Okay, everyone. First, let's talk about something we hear a lot. It is just think positive. Okay, you may be familiar with this word, okay? Yeah, it sounds good, but life is not always positive, right? Sometimes we fail, sometimes people disappoint us, sometimes we mad at people. But we have to accept the reality whatever happens, because if we only force ourselves to think positively every day, we might ignore reality and become unprepared for the problems that maybe become coming. Okay, so instead of only thinking positive, we need to balance it between thinking the positive and negative. We have to stay helpful, but we have to still aware of the challenges that may happen to our life. And now, what is Stoicism? Everyone knows? Stoicism teaches us one key idea. We cannot control everything, but we can control ourselves. Yeah, that's the idea of Stoicism. Many people chase happiness, me especially, okay, through money, success, validation, but those things are unstable. They can come and go. So, if our happiness depends on them, our happiness will also come and go over again. So everyone, Stoicism reminds us that real happiness comes from with our mindset, with ourselves especially, and our actions. In this philosophy, the goal of life is not just to feel happy, yeah, like everyone rich, but to become a better person. Okay, everyone, this is the important thing that we have to know. This is the four important values. The first is wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control. Okay, wisdom helps us make better decisions. Justice reminds us to treat others fairly. Courage pushes us to do the right thing. And self-control keeps our emotions balanced. Okay, everyone. When we live with these values that I have said before, happiness will come naturally without you trying hard to find it out. Okay, and another important idea is this: happiness is not outside of us. Many people think, okay, I'll be happy when I succeed. Or I may be happy when people accept me. But what happens outside us is something we can't fully control. Stoicism teaches that true happiness is a stable inner peace. It's quiet but strong, right? It stays even when life is not perfect. Okay, now let's talk about emotions. Stoicism does not tell us to ignore them. Instead, it teaches us to understand and manage them. For example, when we fail, we learn instead of giving up, right? When we criticize, we reflect instead of reacting emotionally. When anxious, we pause instead of panicking, right? And we ask ourselves one simple question: what can I control? Okay, these simple questions brings us to the most important idea. There are things we can control and things we cannot. Yeah, for sure. We can control our thoughts, actions, and attitude. But everyone, we cannot control other people, the past, or unexpected situations. Everyone, most stress comes from focusing on what we cannot control. That's the most problem. Stoicism teaches us to let go of that and focus on what we can. And when we do that, life feels lighter and more stable. Am I wrong? No. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world full of pressure and comparison in everyday life. Sometimes we feel like we are not enough, but Stoicism reminds us and teaches us we don't need to be someone else to be happy. Just be yourself. And we don't need a perfect life to feel peaceful, to feel happy. Because happiness is not about controlling the outside world, but about controlling ourselves. So everyone, let's start with something simple. Manage our thoughts, accept what we cannot control, accept what we cannot change, and focus on becoming better each day, day and day and day. Because in the end, true happiness is not something we find outside. Like I said before, it is something we build within ourselves. Okay everyone, I'm sorry if there's a lot of mistake. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Is brengsek, tiba-tiba banget buka pintu dah lega rasanya.
Berapa itu?